first up on the agenda, we have a special guest with us. So we are partnering with the U.S. Soccer Foundation on a couple different programs and projects here, especially as we gear up for 2026. And if anyone is still in the dark on 2026, that is when the World Cup is coming to Kansas City. So don't be in the dark on that. But I am going to turn it over to Manny from the U.S. Soccer Foundation to talk a little bit about one or maybe all three of the programs that we're going to be bringing to KRPA members in the next few weeks. Actually, we're going to kick it off at conference. So
awesome.
Go ahead, Manny.
Thank you so much, Erica. I really appreciate it. Pleasure to be here with all of you. For those of you that don't know about the U.S. Soccer Foundation, we're essentially the philanthropic arm of U.S. Soccer within the U.S. And our mission is to provide programming and infrastructure to underserved communities, specifically using soccer as a vehicle to do that. So I've had a number of fruitful conversations with Erica, and she is very right to say we are going to be bringing a couple of the programmatic offerings we have at the conference in Wichita in January, and then also an offering later down the line in the Kansas City metro area. So just a brief overview. I was given 5 minutes, so I'll try to keep it to 5. A brief overview of our program offerings. Our flagship program is known as Soccer for Success, which is an after-school evidence-based soccer program, 12-week curriculum with 3 practices per week and then game days embedded into that. We have 2 different versions of that. We have a nutrition-based curriculum and the SEL-based curriculum. What that means is we just embed nutrition or SEL guidelines within the soccer drills. That program has been in existence for over 10 years, and the success of that has led to the creation of the second program that I'm going to talk about, which is called Soccer for Success in School. What we've essentially done is create a 6-week curriculum extension that we have gone to school districts, PE departments specifically, and have offered this 6-week extension that you can basically apply onto your existing PE curriculum. So if you want to add soccer to your schools, a great opportunity to do that through Soccer for Success in School. And then the last one that I wanted to talk about is the one that I'm directly involved with. Probably should have started with that. My name's Manny Mraz, Program Associate for Coach Mentor Training at the U.S. Soccer Foundation, and I'm based out of Denver, Colorado. But work primarily with the Coach Mentor Training Program, and is actually the offering that we're going to be providing in Wichita at the conference, and then later down the line in the Kansas City metro area. But Coach Mentor Training is our one program that spans outside of soccer specifically, and also it applies to other disciplines. And what it is, in the simplest terms, is just positive development training for coaches, or really just any individuals that work with youth in a mentor setting. We do that by providing it through a sports lens. And we have 3 different modalities of presenting that, what you'll get at the conference in Wichita, and then down the line in the metro. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, my dog is barking a little bit, but what you Sorry about that, everybody. Which you have 3 different modalities. You'll get the in-person one at those 2 versions coming down the line. We also do live Zoom virtual sessions. We actually did a couple this week, which are super cool. And then we have a free online version. I'm sure Erica can share those resources, but I'll make sure to get the different resources for all these programs out to you. And I'll also drop my contact information in case you want to learn more about Soccer for Success after school, in school, or Coach Mentor Training. So thank you all very much. And I'll toss it back to Amanda, it looks like.
Thanks, Manny. I really appreciate it. And then, Manny, if you're still on, do you want to talk about the mini pitches at all?
Sure. So one of the programs I didn't talk about, so I just focus on the programmatic side of things. On the infrastructure side of things, we have a program called Safe Places to Play, where we aim to revitalize spaces, and we do that by developing what we call a mini pitch. So when I say revitalize space, think like an abandoned tennis court, an abandoned basketball court, a parking lot that's not being used. What we've done is develop this modular system where we go to underserved communities specifically and basically implement little futsal pitches. So they're outdoor fields. It's a single modular system. They're made of galvanized steel, which means you'd have to really try to like break these down if you want to be disruptive, but they're built to last. And we're aiming to build 1,000 mini pitches by 2026. Currently have about 680 fully funded and or built. So there's still some room to develop more. many pitches. So on the infrastructure side, always happy to make the link to my colleagues that work on that side of the team, as well as any of my other colleagues on the program side.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you, Manny. We really appreciate you jumping on the call for a minute to explain everything. And KRPA members, we will be sending out more information on all of these. And then Manny and others will be at conference as well. So be on the lookout for more information if you want to incorporate any of this into your in any of your programming. Okay, the second thing on the list today is the proposal of a new branch, the child care branch. And is Shannon on the call? If you are, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, there he is. Okay, so Shannon from JCPRD is going to take a few minutes to talk about just the background on what some of the members have come up with on why they want to propose a a child care branch.
Yes, thank you, Erica. As Erica introduced, we are kind of in the, I guess, the discussion planning formation stage of a whole new branch for KRPA. I find this quite exciting that we are, as an organization, as a professional organization, evolving with the needs and wants and desires of the community and the profession. And as we all know, childcare and youth services is a dire need in Kansas and nationally. And so the thought was, let's put some energy and effort behind a branch to where we can work together and come up with some best practices and learn from one another to kind of help this demand throughout the state. And so as part of that, I think that this is probably the first new branch in quite some time, a decade plus. So I mean, that just kind of speaks to how important this is that we're coming forth with something new. And so some of the, I guess, some of the logistical items is, we're going to need to form the branch. So we're going to need 25 members to sign on to the branch. We're going to have to determine officers, chair, vice chair, other branch board members. And so Rob Knosman, who is our Children's Service Assistant Manager with Johnson County Park and Recreation District, he is one of the folks spearheading this. And so I'll put his information in the chat if you want to reach out directly to him. But there'll also be more information coming in the future with some of the more details around this. Yeah, so I think is Jennifer Anderson on this call as well? I just wanted to.
I am.
Okay. And Jennifer, am I missing anything?
One thing I just wanted to add was, I think when Rob couldn't be here today, but when he was kind of visiting with everybody about this, it wasn't just child care programs. It was youth services, like camps that people offer, whether it's in the school year or summer, recreational and enrichment camps. Anything that we do with kids, which is a lot, and it's not just licensed childcare programs, but we do have a lot of out of school time programs and summer camps and things like that. So we're hoping that this would be an all-inclusive branch that would just give some great professional development opportunities to everybody who's working with kids.
Well said. Well said. And we just know that even when we have enrichment camps and things like that, parents do use that to go to work and to be able to do other things. So whether it's meant to be childcare in a form or fashion or not, it does serve that purpose in some ways to some families. We do know that this is a big conversation on the state level. The state's wrestling with how to meet the demand for various child care needs statewide. In our area, specifically, Panasonic's getting ready to add 4,000 jobs to the community around DeSoto. And so how do all those folks get their child care needs met? But that's just one instance to where, demonstrating the importance. But I know at every economic policy conference discussion, they're wrestling with this very issue. So this is another opportunity for KRPA to show and be on the forefront of solving issues at the state level, which just kind of helps our messaging as to the importance of our profession. So.
That's great, Shannon. Thank you for sharing. And just so everyone knows kind of the process, Shannon will drop in the chat Rob's contact information. You can contact him, let him know if you're interested in this branch. You need 25 members to be able to even put it in front of the board. And so I think Rob's goal was to have the board vote on this in the January meeting. And so if you are interested in this, I would suggest that you contact him sooner than later, so he has an idea of the agencies and or people that would be interested in doing in this type of branch. So, okay. Times are changing, right? I think this is the theme of our entire call today. Okay, so the next thing up is going to be Jamie. She's just going to run through certifications for just a minute.
Yeah, so something that hasn't changed is certifications that we offer. We do have a lot of new members coming in, and so we often throw around letters, and I just wanted to go over what they are. Stuff like CPR, AFO, CPSI, what they are and what they mean and how you obtain those. So first I want to talk about the CPRP. It is the Certified Park and Recreation Professional Certification. So this is your basic certification that is the national standard for all park and recreation professionals who want to be kind of at the forefront of their profession. You get certified by being eligible and taking an exam. I could probably talk about the CPRP for half a day on eligibility and the exam, but we don't have that much time. So I'd be happy to answer any questions, but we do offer a study course coming up. We have our lovely teacher, Jennifer Anderson. She's on this call today with Rob Knosman, who's not with us today, but we do have another study course coming up. Some of the benefits of the study course is how much money that you're going to save if you go through us rather than just doing it on your own with NRPA. For example, the application and exam for NRPA, depending on if you're a member or not, costs between $270 to $314. If you sign up with us, you get the study course, the study guide, the application, the exam, an excellent teacher, 4 or 5 study sessions. And that is only between $250 and $300 for so much more. So it's a great way to learn, save money, and get certified to show how serious you are about the your park and rec career. Before I move on, the first CPRP class is going to be on Monday in Wichita, I believe 2 to 5. And so it's going to actually be at conference. That will be our kickoff course. The other 4 classes will be offered at Shawnee Mission Park and virtually. Right, Jennifer? I think. All right, so our next one is AFO. This is the Aquatic Facility Operator Program. It's designed for people managing and operating aquatic facilities. This is just a 2-day workshop with an open book. You do get the books in several weeks ahead, so you do pre-reading. You do have an exam at the end of the 2nd day. That exam is graded on the spot, and you find out if you pass/fail for the aquatic facility operator. So that is, again, a 2-day workshop. We are offering it 3 times this spring. So coming to a city near you, we have March 20 and 21st in Lawrence, April 10th and 11th in Derby, and then we do offer it virtually April 24th and 25th. And all these dates are on our website, so don't feel like you need to write all that down. But we have the CPSI, which is the Certified Playground Safety Inspector course. This is a comprehensive training program on playground hazard identification and risk management methods. So you learn how to identify hazards on the playgrounds and playground equipment. So this is a full 2-day course. And then on the 3rd day, you take a closed book exam. I also wanted to add that you don't have to take the exam if it's not required by your agency. Some people it is, but you can also just take the course if you just want to come and learn. So that is coming up on March 5th through 7th at the Merriam Community Center. I do recommend getting registered sooner. This one usually does fill up. And then lastly, we have the playground maintenance course, PMC. And sorry, I was adding someone in here. The playground maintenance course is basically a condensed version of CPSI. So it's just a 1-day workshop. You do not have to take a test. They do an on-site park visit where they're out on the equipment identifying hazards, and you do get a certificate. Just a 1-day, usually 9 to 3 thing. We usually do offer this one in the fall. This is a great one to take in the fall, and then kind of pre-course work for your CPSI if that's something that you're interested in. So keep an eye out. We will have a date. I'm working with our instructor, Brian Anderson in Leawood, to get that set up for next fall. So I ran through those pretty quick. So if you have all this information is on our website, but I'm also happy to answer any questions you have about the certifications. I'm sure Jennifer is happy to answer any you might have about CPRP study course. That one is filling up too, so I'd get registered for that as soon as possible as well. And I think that's all I had on those. If we want to go,
Yep.
Jamie,
go
Jennifer
right into
put
the next
her
one.
email in the chat. If that's thank you, Jennifer. All right, so real quick, we offer a benefit to KRPA is a recruitment toolkit that we have on our website. It is designed to help you recruit entry-level employees and part-time seasonals into the park and rec profession. This is a member-only benefit. Hold on one second. Sorry, trying to add people too. This is a member-only benefit, so you do have to be logged in to access this website. You would just log in. There's a little members-only section up at the top to access this recruitment toolkit. What we have in here is videos for the onboard that you can incorporate in your onboarding and orientation process. We also have some surveys for your new employees. We do have 2 parts of the recruitment toolkit: recruiting into the profession and recruiting for entry level. And Amanda, did you want to do both or just wanted to recruit? Yep. All right, so recruiting into the profession. So down here, this is just going to give you, this toolkit is going to give you graphics, core messaging, stakeholders, all sorts of example that you can use on your or in your onboarding process to help them learn about the profession. And we have videos that you can use as well. And then the other one, and I could go on and talk about our recruitment toolkit forever as well, is recruiting for entry-level positions. And so through this website or through our toolkit, we do have some tips and messaging ideas and whatnot. I do encourage you guys to go in and click around and use everything on this site. It is for you guys, and we are continually also adding items to our toolkit as well, working on recruiting for college age students as well. So another thing that I really like, I think is one of the most useful things on our recruitment toolkit, is we do have a great database of a list of our park and recreation undergrad and master degrees in Kansas. So I think that's a great place to, if you do have students or staff, part-time staff that are looking into that, somewhere to guide them to, so they can learn more about what it takes to get into the profession. So yeah, please stop by and visit. You are welcome to use everything on the recruitment toolkit for all your recruitment needs. And with that, I am going to pass it on to Amanda to talk about conference.
All right, it's coming. We are almost there. If it's really hard to believe, we are, what is today? The 16th. Okay, we still got 2 months, thank goodness, because we got a few more details to wrap up, but it's going to be here before you know it. So Jamie and I just met with the conference planning committee yesterday, the last time we meet in person before you all join us in Wichita. It is going to be awesome. If you want to know, drum roll, we are almost to 200 registrations already. So I assume everyone on this call is already registered, because if you're not, you better get there, because things are filling up fast. So when you go on, there's some specific things we don't want you to miss out on. So I'm just going to talk through a few things as you start planning to joining us in Wichita, to keep on your radar. Okay. So first off, we have an amazing agenda of speakers and activities to do while you're in Wichita. So I'll start with some of the wonderful education opportunities we have, because I know that's the main reason you come and not just for the social gatherings. So first of all, you will not want to miss our opening keynote. He is going to be very lively and very fun. He's gotten rave reviews from the Speaker Bureau and other speakers that have heard him speak, which is pretty awesome. And so we're really excited to have Kyle Sheely joining us to start our Explore More theme of exploring ideas outside of the box and pushing you to think of things in a new way. So don't miss him on Tuesday. On Wednesday, at the end of the day, we have another keynote. It's kind of different this year, because on Wednesday, we're going to end all together again, like we do at our opening. And we have David Millay coming. He's going to talk to us all about a community engagement, and is a fabulous resource. He used to work for Disney and then started his own business to incorporate those Disney philosophies into like sporting events for universities and different things and other industries. And so he's going to kind of talk to us about, how do you move from just offering programs and getting people to your programs to offering an experience and really being relational with the people in your community and your stakeholders, and kind of challenging us to think of things in a different way, instead of just, business-based, but also that relational piece that'll keep your park and rec agency alive and vibrant and part of your community for years and years to come. So you will not want to miss David Millay. He's awesome. And if you want to wear like Disney Mickey ears when you come to the event, I'm sure he'd get a big kick out of that. So anyway, you just won't want to miss him. And then another note to see is on Thursday, we will just have sessions in the morning for our half day like normal, but we will end before lunch, and we'll end with 3 really awesome sessions. So instead of 9 sessions, which will have options for most of conference, it'll have 3 bigger room sessions, and you'll have some options there of what topics you'd like to end with to kick off before you all head home. So those are 3 sessions that are just kind of standard. I also wanted to take note, on Thursday morning, we have this unique opportunity, and you do have to sign up for it ahead of time. So that's why I wanted to tell you about it. It's integrating outdoor recreation or education into your site. And so we have two awesome speakers from the Kansas Association for Conservation and Environmental Education. That's a long one. They're going to come and they are going to talk to you about how to offer awesome nature programs into your itinerary of, your things you can offer your community, even if you don't have a nature center. And so it is an extra fee of $35. And you might say, well, why do I have to pay more? Well, they are going to provide you awesome resources to take home with you to your agency that you can implement, and will give you just hands-on specific things. So you will not want to miss that one. But when you register, you got to check the box and have, so we'll be all prepared for you. So another thing is our park tour on Wednesday. Again, that is something you have to register for before time. There's only 52, I believe, spots on the bus to take this tour. And you're going to two really awesome parks in Wichita, one very new one, the Chester Park. And then you will reserve your spot for that. But on your registration, you have to click that, and there's a little extra fee to cover that bus cost. So we have that. Another note, Jamie's been working super hard on our trade show, and we have an amazing amount of vendors that come in, and we love that we get to bring these businesses that support Parks and Rec and give you some resources to call upon and some contacts where you can make face-to-face interactions with them instead of calling or just checking out websites. And so, but on top of that, we want you to come in your play clothes, because along the Explore More theme, we're going to have lots of stuff to do, to interact with your friends while you're there, but also to grab a vendor along and say, hey, why don't you come play cornhole with me or do different things with me? It's going to be a fun 4 hours of meandering through the trade show, experiencing animals in a new way, a park in a new way, while also interacting with all our amazing vendors that'll be there. So keep an eye out for that. Don't wear high heels. Don't wear a fancy business coat, because it's going to be a lively few hours in the trade show, kind of different than we normally do. So, all right. Last few things I gotta tell you about, and the app will be rolling out as normal. It'll probably be coming out either right at the end of December or first part of January. Please, please, please log in ahead of time, set up your schedule, make sure that you can get all in and set up. It'll have all the resources, maps, details, contact informations, way to interact with each other. You won't want to not have that resource when you arrive at conference. And then, of course, I've got to talk about socials, because they're awesome. Our conference planning committee has planned 3 amazing socials. We have a vendor social on Monday where you can come, and it'll just be a happy hour where y'all can catch up since you haven't seen each other in a while also saying hi and shaking hands with some of our vendors before we head into the trade show the next day and all that stuff. On Tuesday night, we'll have the amazing KRPA race again, which is kind of a pub crawl with challenges. Some of the challenges are really fun. I got a little sneak preview of them yesterday, but I won't give any of those details away. But that is something that you will need to sign up for ahead of time. And they would like to have you signed up by the end of December, because they are giving t-shirts away to all our participants that sign up by that deadline. So if you are interested in that, emails will be coming out, so don't miss that. And then, really fun, on Wednesday, we're going to the Wind Surge, the Riverfront Stadium. It's right across from the conference center, just across the river. We'll have some transportation, but you could totally walk if you want to. It's going to do a horse derby. And so get your derby hats ready, because you need to come dressed to the nine, ready to bet on some horse races. Now, you might ask, how do you have a horse race at a baseball field? Well, our DJ that they have hired puts on virtual races. And so, for instance, there will be a KRPA horse in this race. There might be a Wichita horse in this race. Now, they won't be called Wichita horse or KRPA horse. It'll be a very unique name. But if your agency would like a horse, there will be 30 horses in this virtual race that we will be betting on. And 11 of them have already been called upon. So if you're interested in that, an email will go out shortly where you guys can sign up as an agency. You get to pick the name of the horse and some other details about it. And then that night at the social, there'll be 5 races, and we'll have some little betting, not money, but just kind of betting on horses where you can win prizes. You can win prizes for best dressed and all that good stuff. So it's going to be super fun. That's all coming out. Again, horses have to be claimed by December 31st. So get on it. Even though KRPA horse will surely win, you know, we might have a funny name. So don't get on our bad side, because our horse might come up with your name in it if something happens between now and then, but we'll see. So let me just throw up all those. Oh, there's so much fun stuff going on. I almost forgot. So our Explore More theme, we just love it. So this year we are making merchandise. So this is going to be for sale, different things like this that you can buy, plus a few little extra, just kind of funny, fun, catchy little Park and Rec t-shirts. So if you see, this is a sweatshirt we've had for about a year now, and we get so many compliments on it, and we think you're going to love it. So a store will be coming up right after Thanksgiving, and you'll have a month to order a shirt. And we hope that you all might consider purchasing a shirt or sweatshirt or something like that that you would wear to the opening of conference. So when we all come together, it'll be fun. We'll all be in our Explore More gear, all ready to head into the trade show and have a lot of fun in it. So keep an eye out for that. Again, those have to be purchased in the next mid to late December. So here's all the details. This will all go out. Merchandise needs to be purchased by December 22nd. Horses, sign up for Amazing Race. The golden ticket. My goodness, there's so many fun stuff. I keep forgetting things. So if you remember in the past, we've done a golden ticket fundraiser at the trade show. We'll pre-sell some of those tickets ahead of time. And if you buy ahead of time, you get a double chance to win, because there will be some that will be chosen prior to conference. So if you would be interested in that, it's a $20 ticket. It goes right back to the association and all the education things that we provide. And so if you want to buy that ahead of time and secure your ticket, then that needs to be done by the 31st. So a lot coming up in December, and there's so many holiday stuff. We don't want you to miss it. Cunningham is running a cornhole tournament. That email is actually coming out just later today, where they'll have 16 teams that they will run a little tournament on at the trade show, with an opportunity to win the cornhole boards. They're going to be chief cornhole boards, and your team would win 2 with some bags. So all of this will come out in email. I know there's so much to think about and so much to keep track of, but when you see a KRPA email come in your inbox, don't skip it over, because we don't want you to miss out on any of these awesome opportunities. So yeah, that's conference. Did I miss anything, Erica? Is there anything? I'm sure there's so much.
I think you're good.
Okay.
Right. I will take over here. Okay, KRPA. Now it's time to buckle up our seatbelts, because we're about ready to go on a very wild ride here. Advocacy. I'm going to talk to you about advocacy a little bit. KRPA has been working with a group called Kansans for Conservation for the last 7 years. This has been a long time. Advocacy takes a long time. We've been working with them and there's 27 organizations involved with Kansans for Conservation. It's anything from Farm Bureau to the Nature Conservancy to Pheasants Forever, you name it. Oh, Amanda has our NASCAR slide up, so that's great. You can see who all is involved right now. So the whole point of this is to create a sustainable funding for land and water conservation and outdoor recreation. We have a draft bill that will be introduced in the 2024 session. Representative Doug Blex is going to introduce it in House Ag and Natural Resources, and potentially a second time with Senator McGinn. So we've worked with several other groups to get the water conservation funding passed last year, in hopes that we can keep that funding, because the initial was supposed to be land and water conservation and outdoor recreation. So this bill would create 3 different funds, one for land conservation, one for wildlife, and one for outdoor recreation. You can go to the website to learn more, kansasforconservation.org. Just so you know, this would be the biggest investment ever in the state of Kansas for outdoor recreation. Well, actually for any of this conservation. So it's kind of big. We're one of 15 states that does not have dedicated funding to this, and we're trying to catch up with the times. As the bill stands right now, $16 million a year would come to outdoor recreation. Now, if anybody knows anything about the legislature, the bill will change, and I know it will change. And it might be less than that in the end. But we have to start somewhere, and we can always hopefully add in the future years. As with any bill, this might take years to pass. We can't get our hopes up too much. However, we've been working and building the groundwork for 7 years now. And it's my belief if we put enough pressure on legislators, it will come faster than the decade that it took to get the water bill passed. So I think we can do this. I am cautiously optimistic for this year, but hopefully in the next couple of years we can get this going. But this is where we need your help. So here we go. This is going to be a long haul, just like I said. But we will first start by contacting all of our legislators in the House and Senate Ag committees. So if there's a legislator on that committee and you are in their district, do not be surprised if you get a call from me and we go visit this legislator. Don't ignore my call now. I know this is scary for some of you. I will go if you want. We will be prepped, so nobody get anxiety. Everybody will be prepared. The second thing is social media. We will have a big social media campaign. If you can, go to the social media, Facebook, Instagram, former Twitter thing, whatever, are the 3 that Kansans for Conservation have. Go and like their page. You will see stuff come out. We will be posting stuff as well. And we need everybody that we can to be sharing all of our information. Just share away. We need to be shouting this from the rooftops, because this is going to be a little bit of a grassroots effort to get everybody to get this across the line. We obviously will be using some lobbyists and all the organizations involved, but we really need to have this grassroots effort. Okay, so as KRPA posts, right now, anything we post, share away with your agency, share away with anything on your personal accounts. And that's what we call advocacy, right? We're educating people. We're going to put a lot of stuff out on outdoor recreation specifically. So just share away, just get people thinking all about outdoor recreation. Once the bill hits, so this will probably be in January, then you will see stuff come out from KRPA and Kansans for Conservation that will say things along the lines of, call your legislator and tell them to vote for this bill. As an agency, do not share that. I don't want anybody crossing the line there. As personally, share away. You can do anything you want personally on your personal account. So we have to just be a little careful there. I just don't want anybody to get in trouble, because it will turn into lobbying once the bill has hit and we ask for a specific action on a specific bill. That's the difference between advocacy and lobbying. Advocacy, you're educating on outdoor recreation. Lobbying is a specific ask on a specific bill. Okay. So this is really, really exciting for us. I'm super excited. I think we can make some headway here. Other ways you can get involved. The Kansans for Conservation will be having a day at the Capitol on January 22nd. I will probably be sending out something in January to see if you want to RSVP, so I know who's going to come. It is right before conference. We're fully aware of this, but this is when we need to do it. So you are more than welcome to come up to the Capitol that day, and we would love to have you. You can also join the advocacy committee. We always need more people on the advocacy committee. Lots of people get nervous about coming onto the advocacy committee, but it's super informational, and we need all the help we can get, especially this year when we're trying to do something as big as we're trying to do. So this is going to could be a couple year process, but we're in for the long haul. So hopefully we'll get this done. So I'm super excited about that. Okay. And obviously, if anyone has any questions on this, feel free to call me or contact me in any way. And I can get everybody up to speed. We were at the governor's water office, water conference yesterday, and we officially launched it publicly. I was on a panel with some of the other members, and we had a session, probably about 200 people in the room. So it was pretty exciting. It's very fun. Okay. Amanda, I'm going to roll into the economic impact calculator. I know you guys have heard me talk about the economic impact calculator. I promise it's coming. It's almost finished. So, I'm not going to run through a demo of this today. But just remember that it is coming. There will be a session at conference at Sports Facilities Advisory. Oh my gosh, FSC. I just totally blanked on their name. The company that we are using to create this calculator is doing a session at conference. And so you can educate yourself, kind of learn about the conference or learn about the calculator at conference. This will be a demo, a high level overview, some ways to use it. And then after conference, Amanda and I'll talk to you. Amanda and I are going to touch on this in a second, but we will be coming to you to teach everyone how to use it. Okay. So we will have sessions. We're going to have 4 across the state in 2024. And we will be coming to you to help educate you. And we'll talk to you a little bit more about that in a little bit. But Amanda popped up what it's going to look like. And then this is the tourism one. So the economic impact calculator is going to touch on property values, healthcare, environment, tourism, job creation, and the arts. And so this is kind of what it looks like. It's super easy as long as you have your data. Tourism is probably the easiest one. You can pick your region. Forecast how many people were at your event, number of event days, how many overnight, and it'll calculate for you, spit out a report. It's great. But we'll go into that a little bit more at conference, and then also when we come visit you over the next year. So basically, when we advocate for ourselves, whether you're advocating for a budget, whether you're whatever you're advocating for, we need to hit them in the head, right? These are the numbers. These are the numbers you can use. And then we also need to hit them in the heart, right? With storytelling. And so Amanda, we're going to just roll right into our rebranding a little bit. And I will let you start with the rebranding piece of it. Another big initiative that KRPA has been undergoing with the board and a core team is to rebrand park and recreation in the state of Kansas. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's been a fun year here. Can you tell? We've been super busy. A few things going on, but we're really excited about this. And like Erica said, we've just felt like there's been a huge shift in Parks and Rec in the last few years, even since COVID. And we felt like some of our verbiage needed to change to stay up with the times. And when we did the 75th and looked back on the history, it is always part of the KRPA Association's goals to improve the profession, improve the way we speak about it, recruiting, all that things that we are still doing today that they've done, and it's just evolved over time. And so we've been talking about it for many years, just like some of the other things. It just takes time to get through, but we were working on, you'll see some new messaging that's going to come out in this year to come, moving, like I said, from this transactional to relational, to talking about how you're just not the people that come out and roll the ball out at sporting events, but you do art, you do childcare, you are the identity of a lot of your communities. When people roll into your community, the areas that you take care of in parks, on signs, are the first things people see. People come to your community because of the festivals, the tournaments, all this stuff. And so there needed to be a little change in how we talk about things when we go to legislation, the legislators, and things like that. Like, how are we talking to people about Parks and Rec? And do they really grasp all of the things that you guys do? And there's so much. And so it's hard for them to do that. So we need to be purposeful in how we talk about things, purposeful in who KRPA is joining with key stakeholders in different organizations. We're doing very intentional relationship buildings with other groups, school boards, a lot. I can't even think of all the different ones that this group has decided to, but we're really advocating for you, plus wanting to give you resources to how to advocate for yourself, how to grow your group of people that will come to your side when budgets happen or events happen, that know you, know your name, know who runs your agency, and loves what you guys provide, and working together for that. So part of what you'll see in 2024 is that we are going to come to you. We will be coming to your area. We are going to be talking about the head and the heart and rolling all this stuff out to you so you are prepared, so your staff is prepared, because it starts with the people that they meet at the park that are taking care of plants, all the way up to the people that they see at the city meetings, at your county meetings. They all need to have the same way of talking about what your agency does and advancing the Park and Rec vision across the state. So there will be a new website that'll be rolled out. If somebody's like, hey, I want to learn more about Parks and Rec in Kansas, this will be a website that talks about all the things and the rules that you guys play so that they can learn more about it. So that's kind of some exciting stuff happening, and you might see a little facelift of KRPA, not us personally, so sorry, but our logo maybe, and some other things that will go along with that, so that we are staying up with what we're trying to give to you too, and the ways that we're talking about things. So what else do you have, Erica? What else can you add to that?
No, I think you covered it real well. It was funny. I was on my director call the other day with all the other directors, and there's several other states updating their logos, and they're like, oh yeah, it's been 50 years. It's been 70 years since they've updated their branding. Just so you guys know, it's only been 13 for us. So we're good. We're good. We're staying on top of things. No, that's good. I think that's good. Just be prepared. We're going to roll it out at conference. So be ready. And then we're going to come visit you.
Yep. Get ready for us. Okay, well, we're like coming in hot at 1 o'clock. So we got 10 minutes. So when I sent out this email reminding you about member calls, we are here. We want to answer your questions. We want to connect members. Those are the things we love. We love when people call us and say, hey, I've got this challenge. Do you have somebody I can talk to, or do you know where I can get information about this? And so right now I wanted to just give you guys an opportunity. If you have questions about anything we've covered, or just questions in general, please throw them in the chat. We are obviously not going to get to all the questions, but we will be happy to follow up with you if we don't get to your question in the next few minutes. We don't want to waste anybody's time here. But I did receive a few emails. Yay! I love it when people respond to my emails, because I know you read them. And so we're just gonna I'm gonna throw some of these questions at Erica and see what she thinks, and then Jamie's gonna watch the chat, and if there's anything that comes in that we have time to answer, we'll see what we can do. So one question that we had that came in was, this person wanted to know, why can't rec commissions be KRPA accredited, and is there any thing in the works for that?
Okay. I'm going to give you the short answer. You can be KRPA accredited. And Troy Houtman, are you still on? If you are, unmute yourself. Troy Houtman is the head honcho of the KRPA Commission now. Is he still on?
Yep, I see him there.
Unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
All right.
Do you want to address this at all?
Sure, yes. So both rec commissions and park commissions can be accredited, and they have been accredited for many, many years. They've had that opportunity, and couple things in the future. We are changing a few of the standards, make it a little bit easier for those agencies to follow through. But I'm not sure where the rumor is that they can't, but they definitely can. Now, there's some standards that they might not be able to meet, and when those things happen, those standards are kind of set aside, and kind of like going back in college when the professor threw out one of the test questions because it was not applicable to the course or something like that. So we do kind of the same thing. So there will be a session at conference to talk about KRPA, and if you ever want to find out more information about it, on the website on NRPA, there's a huge website that has all kinds of information, the handbook, all the policies and procedures, and all the processes to go through accreditation. So, or you can give me a call. I'm always willing to sit down and talk to anybody about accreditation, but there will be a session at conference.
Thank you, Troy. Not to put you on the spot, but I saw you on there, so I thought might as well hear it from the head guy.
That's
Lucky to have you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Troy. I appreciate that. Okay, another question we got. This is a fun one. What does KRPA think of the rapidly evolving AI revolution, even in the last few weeks? And how do you see it shaping the present and future of parks and recreation? Do we have fears, hopes, cautions? That's a lot of questions right there. So
Okay. This is a completely loaded question. I'm going to back up just to make sure everyone knows what AI is. It's artificial intelligence. The most common one is ChatGPT. If you're not familiar with this, you need to do this as soon as we get off this call. And I'm dead serious. We do have sessions at conference on this. However, AI is moving very quickly, and looking at the descriptions, they're probably going to be outdated by the time conference rolls around because it's moving so quickly. So basically just know one is going to be on how to use it, and one is going to be more on policies related to it that you could implement into your agency. So those are going to be the differences. The descriptions might not fit by the time we roll around because it's just going so fast. To know how serious this is, the president issued an executive order last week. It outlines several things, mainly regarding to the military, the government's protections, and then labeling anything that is created by AI that is sent out from the government. So all the citizens know if the government sent this was created by AI. So they should have some sort of stamp, label, something soon. He called on the House and Senate to pass laws to protect us, the citizens. Until they do, we are not protected. The executive order can only go so far. Just so you know. So fears. This could be very scary if it's used for ill intent. With the upcoming election, with several things people could do to your agency, for sure, because it's free and it's out there and it's very easy to use. For instance, someone could take your voice and put it to your face and have it say something that you never said. And so it could be scary. It could be very scary. The person who created it and made it so easily available has already testified in front of Congress warning them to do something about it. That's probably why the government moved quicker on this than probably anything in the history of the federal government. Our hopes. Okay. We love it. After I scared you to death, we love it. KRPA uses it in the office. We personified it here and we call him Chad. So we think of him as another employee. We write a lot of our stuff with AI now. We do a whole lot of stuff with AI, and it can be definitely beneficial to you. I'm just off the top of my head writing program descriptions, for instance. You could get your activity guide out in half the time. Just so we could have some fun at conference. we will be using AI at conference, maybe to scare you guys. Don't be surprised if we have you say something that you didn't say. But we will put a label on it later on. So anyway, it's evolving. It's everywhere. It's anything from video to graphics to you name it. Jamie showed us one this morning that I wish I had right now to wear my face. So if I'm reading my notes on another screen, you see the side of my face. But the way this works is it takes your face and faces it toward, so I'm looking at the camera, but in reality, I'm looking at my notes on another screen. And so it's super creepy, but hey, that would have been kind of helpful. So I didn't have to cover everything up on one screen. So anyway, it's creepy and helpful all at the same time. And cautions, I would just have your radar up, this is for everything, not just work. You may have to question things that you didn't have to question before, especially videos. So because they can easily be manipulated now. So that's kind of the overview of that. But hey, while it's out there, I would use it because it's super, super helpful. So
Yeah, you can think of it like a tool that you can keep in your eye for some things. And so, yeah, the gentleman that's coming from Wichita State to conference, he's on it and he's like, give it the description, but definitely warn that he's like staying up on things and will be as up to date as possible for his presentations at conference. So it'll be great. So, well, we got just like 2 minutes till 1 o'clock. Is there like one question in the chat that we could cover, Jamie?
Yeah, Amanda, I see one here.
Okay.
Do you know what committee in the House or Senate the conservation bill will likely be referred to? Yes, it's going to be introduced in the House for sure. Ag and Natural Resources branch or committee. And if it gets introduced on the Senate side, that's where it will be too as well. Anybody else have any questions? If we can stay on for a little while, but we have 1 minute left. We don't want to take all your time. And throw it in the chat if you want.
Yep, and I'm throwing up our information, so you can email us, call us. We are around. If anything comes up, any burning questions. If you want to know what color Jamie and Erica's hat will be for the Kentucky Derby, you can always email them so you can coordinate if you want to. So okay.
All right, last call. Hey, thank you everyone for coming. We truly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come learn more. We've had lots of exciting things going on this year. And hope to have a great 2024. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.